Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And this is something you don't see too often, but we have, of course, this cold air mass that moved into the eastern states. Well, we also had a storm develop just to the east of the Florida coast. It's far enough offshore that it's not bringing any precipitation, but what this intensifying low has done is that it has brought down some of that very cold air that was over the eastern part of the United States and over the northeast and mid-Atlantic states down all the way through the state of Florida. And also, and this is something you don't see very often, it's quite possible that this precipitation that you see out east of the Florida coast, east of Palm Coast and Jacksonville, right in here, that may very well be snow aloft, believe it or not. And temperatures this morning bottoming out in the low and mid 30s in many locations. We've got a 32 reading in Clewiston at 7 a.m. Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale, is at 39. Miami International Airport is at 39. You have 30s all the way down almost to the Keys. So I just wanted to at least acknowledge that with regards to what's happening weather-wise. In the meantime, we are set to bounce. There really isn't much happening across the U.S., but we're starting to see the beginnings of winter weather advisories in the middle Mississippi Valley and parts of eastern Kansas, Nebraska, and Oklahoma. And this is part of the storm system that is going to be coming out for the weekend. On the satellite, look how clear it is here in the east. It is. We've got the high now in a good spot. So all of this clear skies up and down the East Coast, except, of course, you're seeing the impact of that looping system, that the satellite loop, the low that is off the Florida coast, and as we said, that just kind of dragged all that cold air down. Meanwhile, we've got all this moisture that is coming up as the beginnings of the next storm system that's going to be coming eastward, and again, that gets here for the weekend. So there are no weather issues to speak of as far as today is concerned, clearly. And looking at the radar this morning, your moisture building up in the lower and middle Mississippi Valley, moving eastward. Looks like even some showers and thunderstorms in parts of the Gulf states. But we are nice and quiet, and there's the back edge of that low that is off the Florida coast. So going forward with our forecast here, the high is going to be right overhead today. Winds are going to be light. Temperatures should rebound nicely from the morning lows, which are down in the teens and low 20s. And I think we're probably going to see highs that will reach mid 30s to near 40, depending on where you're located. If you're down from southern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey southward, you'll probably make it up into the low 40s. If you're up a little bit further north, you'll be mid to upper 30s. Now, of course, the next thing we're watching is the weather system that is going to be coming in to the northeast. And WPC, the Weather Prediction Center, in their snow forecast, just taking a look at what they're anticipating here, and a 30% chance of at least a quarter of an inch of liquid precipitation equivalent that falls as snow or sleet. So basically, the probability of at least 2 inches of snow. In the green is 30 to 50%, and in the blue, 50 to 70%. And that covers the northern half of Pennsylvania and then on up through New York State. But it does bend down into the Hudson Valley, down the Catskills, and possibly into parts of Orange and Sullivan counties and into the counties in northwest New Jersey before it swings back westward. Notice the southern edge of the 10% doesn't even make it down to the coast. So this is for Saturday into Sunday. And the Weather Prediction Center's forecasts with regards to looking at snow from this concept, the idea of the best chance for some precip, when we're still technically in the long range part of the forecast period, is usually they do a fairly decent job on picking up the trends of where this is all headed. So watching the weather models overnight, we really didn't see very much in the way of change in how this plays out. We're going to see this low move eastward There's a reflection of the upper air system, and that's the low that you see just north of St. Louis. High pressure still remains in control. Another stronger high is going to be building up into eastern Canada, and that's going to try to pin this thing southward. And a little bit of cold air bleeds southward. You see how the model picks up on snow here. This is for Friday night into Saturday morning in parts of Pennsylvania. But anytime you see a storm system where you've got snow and then little patches of green indicative of rain in the mix, that tells you that there's not a whole lot of cold air around and that this is going to be an elevation driven snow. And that makes things very, very tricky with regards to what to expect from the standpoint of a forecast. Now, this is what I put up yesterday, uh, where the black line, anywhere north of the black line, that's where there's a chance that there could be. I covered for a wide range of a coating to maybe a couple of inches, and you notice that the southern edge of that black line stays, close to or just north of Harrisburg, north and west of Reading and Allentown, north and west of New York City, right along Route 84 up in Connecticut. And then you get into the higher elevations, well up to the north in Pennsylvania and through upstate New York. And this is where I think you'll see the greatest chance for accumulating snow with regards to Saturday and Sunday. For everybody else, it's going to be just a cold rain. Maybe there's a little bit of snow at the start in some places, and maybe a little bit of snow at the end for the finish. But basically, it's just going to be a cold, raw, and rainy Saturday, and then weather conditions are likely to improve on Sunday. So that's our early look at things, and thanks for being here. And of course, I want to thank my those of you who have become Facebook supporters. Thank you very much. It's $1 a month is all it is, and it actually helps to support the costs of the two free apps, which also have a minimal amount of advertising on them, and you get a ton of information out of it. You can download those free, the Meteorologist Joe Cioffi app and Angry Ben's weather app, the Angry Weatherman, on Google Play or on the App Store. If you haven't done that yet, do it. Do it today so you can be covered for the rest of the winter and the upcoming spring, summer, and fall. And by the way, for you snow lovers, every snowfall forecast map from South Carolina all the way up to Maine is on there. The National Weather Service snow forecast map. So when snow or ice is an issue, those maps automatically update with the latest National Weather Service forecast for those particular areas. All right, later today we'll have our weather updates on our website, so look for those, and also on the app, and the Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll see you later.